friends, welcome back to Astrology with Ninad. In this video, I'm going to discuss the upcoming major transit of Saturn to its Mool Trikona sign Aquarius, which is Kumbha Rashi, between Jan 17, 2023 to March 29, 2025. Yes, this event is going to have a huge impact on each and every individual's life because Saturn is one of the major planets in Vedic astrology and it stays in one sign for a long period of time. So naturally, it exerts huge influence on the worldly affairs. And if you are running the Mahadasha or the Antardasha, even the Pratyantar Dasha of Saturn, then these predictions will have a much more stronger impact. My analysis is based on your moon, which is Chandra Rashi, or ascendant, which is Lagna Rashi, per Vedic astrology. If you don't know your signs, I recommend going to a online Vedic birth chart calculator, plugging in your birth details, and finding out those signs. I have posted the timestamps in the description box below for your convenience, so you can click on the time that corresponds to your moon or rising sign and watch accordingly. Moon sign predictions have an impact on the mind or emotions of a human being, while ascendant or rising sign predictions have an impact on actual physical events in life. So, without any delay, let us see how the planet of karma, justice, and discipline, Saturn, Shani Dev, is going to affect the lives of all the 12 zodiac signs, starting from Aries all the way up to Pisces. For my Aries Mesh Rasi friends, Saturn will now be transiting in your 11th house in its Mool Trikona, Aquarius. This is an excellent and beneficial position because 11th house is one of the most auspicious houses in Vedic astrology. It is the Labhastan, the Ichha Purti Stan. So you will start to get wealth from multiple sources of income. Your savings will start to increase. Your bank balance will start to grow. You will feel more financially stable. Your long-term desires, wishes, dreams, goals, ambitions will now slowly start to become realized. Your social network will start to expand. You will make new friends. You will meet important people and establish good relationships with influential people which might help you in the long run. Your relationship with your elder siblings will get better. If there was any disharmony in the relationship, then slowly things will start to improve. From the 11th house, Saturn will aspect your first house, which will fall on your own sign Aries. This will slow you down a bit, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Because Aries is ruled by Mars, which is a very fast planet. It is a fire sign. So Saturn's aspect will help you to become more patient, to think twice before taking any important decisions. That way, you can make lot of good long-term decisions for your future, which will be in your favor. From the 11th house, the next aspect of Saturn will be on your 5th house, which will be a direct aspect on the strong enemy sign Leo. This is where you need to be slightly careful. Do not make any risky financial investments, whether it is the stock market, cryptocurrency, or you could face major losses because 5th house is connected to the stock market and speculative investments. If you're single and hoping to find a comparable partner, then do not suddenly jump into a new relationship with someone you don't know that well, or it can create some unexpected issues. If you are already in a romantic relationship, then try not to get into arguments, disputes, quarrels with your partner, or that can cause a break in the relationship. If you're in the teaching profession, then you will need to put in a lot of hard work and effort so that your students will appreciate your teaching skills and be satisfied with your teaching expertise. If you have any children, then try not to get into arguments with them because that can create some issues in your relationship with them. Some might also be disrespectful, but try to understand that it is the aspect of Saturn on your fifth house which might be creating some obstacles and issues and hurdles in your relationship with children. The final aspect of Saturn will be on your 8th house, which will fall on the sign Scorpio. Try to take care of your health and do not ignore any health issues, especially acute health issues. Make sure to do yoga, exercise, meditation, get your regular wellness checkups so that your health can be maintained in a positive and balanced way. Try not to take any new major loans around this time, or you might have a hard time repaying those loans. But if you had taken any old loans in the past, then slowly it will be a good idea to start repaying those so that you can be loan free in the future. You might also face a lot of competition in the coming time, but with your hard work and effort, you will be able to win over your competition and come out on top. You might also feel slightly lethargic about working in your daily job. But if you push away that feeling and you are motivated and you keep working hard, then you will certainly be very successful in your career in the time to come. Because Saturn also rules your 10th house of job and profession, and now it is placed in the 11th house, which is the Labhasthan. So naturally, there can be a lot of gain from your job, lot of appreciation for your hard work and effort, recognition. You will start to get the credit that you deserve. There might be a chance for a bonus, promotion, a salary increment on the cards. You might also be able to land a new job opportunity with a very good salary and benefits package. But you will need to put in a lot of hard work and effort to achieve all this because Saturn does not give anything without effort, without discipline. So keep working hard, stay disciplined, be patient, and stay focused. And that way, you will make the best use of this upcoming Saturn transit from Jan 2023 to March 2025. I wish you all the best and thank you for watching. For my Taurus Vrushabha Rasi friends, Saturn will now be transiting in your 10th house in its Mool Trikona Aquarius. This is a very good position because the 10th house is a Kendra Sthan and Saturn is a Yoga Karaka planet for Taurus sign, meaning a very beneficial planet as it controls a trine and a center house. So if you were feeling stagnant and not getting the growth that you desired in the last few years, then slowly things will start to change for the better. You will slowly achieve a lot of success in the time to come in your career because this is a very strong position of Saturn, as Saturn is known to do very well in the house that it is placed in. And now this will be its own house and own Mool Trikona sign Aquarius, which is Kumbha Rashi. So those who had dismissed you earlier, now they will start to recognize your talents and skills and they will give you the respect that you deserve. If you were feeling neglected, now your bosses will appreciate and recognize your hard work and effort and there might be a chance for a potential bonus, salary increment, or promotion on the cards that might be long overdue. Your respect in society, at your workplace, will start to increase by the day. Your leadership skills will also become very refined. You will impress whoever you interact with. You will start to command a lot of respect and attention wherever you go. Those who don't have a job, I highly recommend keep applying and give lots of interviews because there's a strong chance you might land a new job with a decent salary and benefits package. Also, if there were any issues in the relationship with your father, those will slowly be resolved over time, and there will be more harmony and peace in the relationship going forward. From the 10th house, Saturn will aspect your 12th house, which will fall on the sign Aries. So, this will be an excellent time to think about relocation to a foreign country in regards to your job. So, those people who always wanted to relocate to a foreign land to work a new job, this would be a good chance, a good opportunity, and a good time to do so because both the 10th and the 12th houses are now activated. There might be an increase in your expenses, but it might be related to long distance traveling, vacations, journeys. It can be related to your business activities, whether it is with your career or for even pursuing higher education. Your quality of sleep might be affected, and some people might suffer from sleep disorders such as insomnia. So, doing yoga, meditation, exercise will be largely beneficial. You might also become more inclined towards spirituality and spiritual activities. You might also engage more in philanthropic causes, social service, doing any charitable donations, or working for any social service organizations because the 12th house is the highest of the moksha trikona, which is now getting strongly activated. And doing those activities will be largely beneficial to challenge the energies of the 12th house in a much more positive way because the 12th house is a trikstan. So, doing those activities will naturally channel or transfer those energies in a much more positive direction. The next aspect of Saturn will fall on your fourth house. This will be a direct aspect on the strong enemy sign Leo. You have to be slightly careful in the area of real estate, whether it is buying a new property, selling a property, also related to vehicle purchase, whether it is buying a new car or even selling your car for that matter. You have to be extremely cautious. Make sure to properly read the documents before signing the papers because this will be a strong enemy aspect. So be very careful in those areas. Also, be watchful of your mother's health and make sure she does not ignore any health issues if something was to bother her during this transit of Saturn. Those students who are pursuing primary education, such as bachelor's or high school, will need to put in a lot of hard work and effort, and then only they can achieve any good academic progress. The final aspect of Saturn will be on your seventh house, on the sign of Scorpio. This is again an enemy aspect, but it will not be as bad as the aspect on the fourth house. So, if you are married or in a long term relationship, then try not to get into arguments or disputes with your partner, or that could lead to a break in the relationship. Instead, be loyal, courteous, faithful, caring, and loving towards your partner. So that will maintain the harmony, love, romance, and peace in your relationship going forward. Those single people who are wanting to get married, then Take time, do not rush into anything, be patient, and then carefully make a decision. Because if you blindly make a decision without thinking things through, then the expectation might be very different from the reality of what happens. So be very careful before suddenly getting married to someone you don't know that well. Take your time. Also, if you're interested in starting a new business, getting into a new business partnership, think twice, think thrice, and take small baby steps. Do not rush into anything. Do not take any hasty decisions, or you could suffer losses. But overall, it will still be a good time to strengthen your business activities. The more hard work and effort that you put in your business will surely reap the rewards in the time to come. Just don't make any major risky financial investments. Do everything at a slow and steady pace because Saturn is the slowest moving planet. So it will always bless people who are patient, who take the time to think twice, thrice before taking any major important decision. Because as the saying is, haste is waste. So just take your time, be patient, and you will have the full blessings of Saturn, Shani Dev in the time to come between Jan 2023 to March 2025, because truly the placement of Saturn in your 10th house is looking to be exceptional. So make the best use of it. Good luck. For my Gemini Mithun Rashi friends, finally the Lord of your destiny house Saturn will now strongly be placed in your ninth house itself in its Mul Trikona Aquarius. This will provide huge relief as compared to the past few years, because although Saturn was placed in its own sign Capricorn, it was in your 8th house, which is a Dustana. It is a Trikstan, which is a natural house of difficulties, hurdles, obstacles, transformations. But now the time is changing and things are going to get a whole lot better, because the ninth house is one of the most auspicious houses in Vedic astrology. It is a trikon, it is a trine house, and now Saturn will be strongly placed in its Mul Trikona. There is a saying that goes, whenever a planet is placed in its Mul Trikona, it tries to give exceptional results and acts in a very positive manner. So naturally, your destiny is going to get stronger by the day. Your luck factor is going to support you more. This will be an excellent time for those students who are wanting to pursue higher education, such as master's or PhD program in a foreign country. You might finally get accepted to the colleges that you have applied to. Those students already pursuing a higher education program, you will make excellent academic progress. You will impress your professors with your hard work, effort, and knowledge, and you will be very successful in your respective fields. The ninth house is also connected to spirituality, religion, dharma. So naturally, you will start to become more inclined towards pursuing spiritual or religious activities. You will become very duty minded, and that will be very beneficial. There will be also a lot of long distance journeys and vacations that you might go on. From the ninth house, Saturn will aspect your 11th house, which will fall on the sign Aries. Now, this aspect will be good because 11th house is one of the most auspicious houses. It is the Labhastan, the Ichha Stan. So, although it is an enemy aspect, Saturn will not try to do much damage because Saturn is Bhagyesh for you. It is the ruler of your destiny house. So, naturally, it is a good planet for you. So, you will start to slowly build up your savings. You will start to become more financially stable. Money will definitely come your way. It will be slow and steady, but it will be there. The money flow will keep increasing as the months keep progressing. Your long-term wishes, desires, ambitions, goals will slowly start getting realized. You will start to work really hard to achieve your goals and objectives. Your social network will start to expand. You might meet some important and influential people who might help you in the long run. You will make new friends. Your relationship with your elder sibling will be good for the most part. Just try not to get into arguments. Then the next aspect of Saturn will be directly on your third house on the strong enemy sign Leo. This is where you need to be slightly careful. Do not speed and drive on any short distance journeys that you go on. Be very watchful of your speed. Be watchful in general communication with anyone, or people might take you the wrong way, which can lead to misunderstandings. You will also need to put in a lot of hard work and effort, and then only you will be successful in achieving your goals, objectives, and desires. Try not to get into arguments or disputes with your younger siblings, or that could cause severe issues in your relationship with them. So be courteous, be respectful, and that should maintain the relationship in a much more harmonious way in the coming time. The final aspect of Saturn will be on your sixth house, which will fall on Scorpio. This will not be as bad because sixth house is a Upchaya house and Scorpio is not such a strong enemy sign such as Leo. So there will be an increase in competition, but with your creative abilities, with your determination, hard work, effort, you will be able to win over that competition and rise on top. Try not to take any major loans around this time. If you had taken any loans in the past, then you will slowly start to repay those, and which will help you to become loan free in the future. You might feel slightly lethargic in your daily work routine. Try to push that aside, stay motivated, and keep focused on your goals and objectives. And that way, you will be very successful in the time to come. One last thing is try not to ignore any acute health issues if something was to bother you. Make sure to get regular wellness checkups, do yoga, exercise, meditation, pranayam, mindfulness techniques, which will keep your energy channeled in a much more positive direction. So, overall, a wonderful transit that is upcoming for my Gemini Mithun Rashi friends. Finally, Saturn is leaving your 8th house and transiting to the best house in the birth chart, which is the 9th house, the trine house in its own Mool Trikona Aquarius. So, very exciting times. So, I will say make the best use of it, keep working hard, stay focused, be patient, and do not give up. And you will be able to achieve a lot in the coming time. Thank you. Cancer Karka Rashi friends, Saturn will now transit in your 8th house in its Mool Trikona Aquarius. So there is a chance of sudden unexpected wealth that might come your way. It could be through inheritance, through the real estate, sale of property, through your spouse, in-laws, past investments, insurance, something that you had never expected. You will also become very interested towards the occult science field, and you will find it to be very appealing. You might also get inclined towards pursuing spiritual or religious activities. You might take up yoga, start doing meditation, engage in doing charities, helping out with social service organizations, which will be largely beneficial. If you are suffering from any chronic health issues, then finally there might be some relief on the cards. If you are in a research type of field, investigation field, then you will be very successful in this time period. From the 8th house, Saturn will aspect your 10th house, which will fall on the sign Aries. So this will make you work very hard, put in a lot of effort in your job and profession, but you will eventually reap the rewards. You will get the appreciation, respect, credit, and recognition for the amount of effort that you put in your job. And with that might naturally come a salary increment, a bonus, or a promotion, which might be long overdue. But yes, you will definitely need to put in a lot of hard work and effort because it will fall on the enemy sign Aries. But as the saying goes, that Saturn delays but never denies. So you will make good progress in your job and profession, but you will need to put in twice the effort. If you don't have a job, I highly recommend keep applying and give lots and lots and lots of interviews, because there is a good chance you can land a new job with a good salary and benefits package. Try not to get into arguments with your father, or that could strain the relationship. So try to be respectful so that the relationship stays harmonious in the time to come. The next aspect of Saturn will be a direct aspect on your 2nd house, which will fall on the strong enemy sign Leo. This is where you need to be slightly careful, is try not to spend unnecessarily because it can drain your bank balance. So try to save your hard-earned money as much as possible. Try not to get into arguments with your family members. Be cautious when it comes to the food you eat and what you drink, because too much of unhealthy food habits can cause you a lot of health issues. The last aspect of Saturn will be on your 5th house, which will fall on the sign Scorpio. So if you have any children, then I will say there might be times where they might be disrespectful, but you have to try to make it work, because again, this aspect of Saturn is falling on Scorpio, which is an enemy sign. So try to just understand them so that the relationship remains harmonious. If you are single, then there might be opportunities where you might come across someone you start liking and you might think of getting into a relationship. And that is fine, but make sure to not rush into anything. Have patience, take your time, and try to really know that person before jumping into a new relationship so that your expectations can match reality. Final word of caution would be to be very careful when it comes to risky speculative investments such as the stock market or cryptocurrency, where there is a chance of loss, because 8th house is also the house of sudden unexpected loss. Although the possibility is low because Saturn is now placed favorably in its Mool Trikona Aquarius, but it is also aspecting the 5th house, which is connected to these speculative investments, and it is placed in the 8th. So you have to be extremely cautious when it comes to making any risky financial investments. Safe investments like long-term investments are fine, but trying to make a quick buck might actually cause more harm than good. So try to be very diligent and do your research before making any risky financial investments. So I believe overall this transit is going to be fine for you for the most part. So take your time, don't rush into anything, be cautious, have patience, keep working hard, and you will eventually reap the rewards for the effort that you put in. Thank you for watching. For my Leo Sinha Rashi friends, finally the Lord of your 7th house, Saturn, will now strongly transit in the 7th house itself in its Mool Trikona Aquarius, which is Kumbha Rashi. Now, this is excellent and good news for those single people who were hoping to find a comparable match and get married, but things were just not working out for some reason. Well, now things are about to start changing for the better. There's a strong chance your dreams will come true and you might get married in the time to come, and you will find a comparable partner, and the wedding bells might start ringing, because this is a very auspicious and beneficial placement. First, because Saturn is known to do very well in the house that it is placed in, as it improves the positive significations of that house over time. Also, any planet placed in its Mool Trikona usually gives very good results. Those people already married or in a long term relationship, and if there were a lot of issues, disputes, quarrels in your relationship, in your married life, now things will start to get resolved. They will start to get better. You will feel more peaceful, relaxed in your relationship. There will be more harmony, love, romance in your married life going forward. When it comes to the business area, whether it is starting a new business, getting into a new business partnership, thinking of business expansion, thinking of implementing new business strategies, the time is looking to be much more supportive than in the past. If you're already running a business and you were facing a lot of losses, expenses in the past, well, now slowly your revenue will start to increase and you will slowly and steadily make good profits in the time to come. Also, if you are in a business partnership, then your business partner will be more supportive than ever in your business ideas, whether it is about expansion, implementing new strategies. Your relationship with your business partner will also improve. From the 7th house, Saturn will aspect your 9th house, which will fall on the sign Aries. So this indicates that you might go on lot of long distance journeys. It can be for vacations, it can be related to your business activities, it can be even for higher education purposes, such as for those students wanting to pursue PhD or master's program. But you will need to put in a lot of hard work and effort, and then only you can achieve the desired results. The 9th house is also the house of the Dharma Trikona, the highest of the Dharma Trikona. So you will naturally become spiritual, duty minded, even religious. You might take up yoga, start doing meditation, engage in philanthropic causes, start doing charity work, help out with social service organizations, and all these things will be largely beneficial to channel the energies of the 9th house in a much more positive manner. Try not to make any decisions purely based on luck factor or destiny, because it will be slightly weak due to this enemy aspect. Instead, make any major important decision after doing proper due diligence, research, and consulting with trusted people, so that you don't do something that you might end up regretting later. The next aspect of Saturn will be a direct aspect on your 1st house, on your Lagna, which will fall on the strong enemy sign Leo itself. This is where you need to be careful, is do not ignore any health issues if something was to bother you. Make sure to get regular wellness checkups and take appropriate care of your health in the time to come. The final aspect of Saturn will be on your 4th house, which will fall on the sign Scorpio. So this is the time where you need to be careful when it comes to property and real estate dealings, whether it's buying a new property, selling your house, or even buying a new vehicle or selling your car. Be very careful when it comes to reading the paperwork, Do not blindly sign any documents. And if you can instead delay the purchase of properties, vehicles, it will be much better for you. But overall, the time is looking to be excellent, especially in terms of the marriage and business area. There will be a huge relief as compared to the past 2 to 3 years. So you can definitely look forward to that. I hope this analysis was helpful to you. I wish you the best and thank you for watching. For my Virgo Kanya Rashi friends, Saturn will now be transiting in your 6th house in its Mool Trikona Aquarius. This is a good placement. First of all, Saturn is a good planet for Virgo because it is good friends with the ruler of your sign, Mercury. Also, it is known to do very well when placed in a Upchaya Sthan like the 6th house. So, if you were suffering from any acute health issues, then there might be some relief on the cards. You will start to feel better, your energy levels will improve, your immunity will get stronger. You will also become very passionate about your daily work routine, which will enable you to put in more hard work and effort and in turn achieve success in your career in the coming time period. You might also think of taking new loans around this time. It might be to start a new business, maybe invest in real estate, because Saturn's placement is indicative of that. If you had taken any loans in the past, then also you will have an easier time to repay those in the coming time period, which might enable you to become loan free. If you were getting any heat from competition, enemies were bothering you, then with your creative talents, skills, and abilities, you will be able to defeat the competition and rise on top over your enemies. From the 6th house, Saturn will aspect your 8th house, which will fall on the sign Aries. Try not to ignore any chronic health issues around this time if something was to bother you. Make sure to get regular wellness checkups. You might also get very interested towards the occult science field. You might take up yoga, meditation, become very spiritual, religious, because the 8th house is the house of the Moksha Trikona. You might also think of doing charity work, helping out with social service organizations, which will be largely beneficial. The next aspect of Saturn will be on your 12th house. It will be a direct, strong enemy aspect on the sign Leo. So be very careful when it comes to making any risky financial major investments because you could face losses because both the 8th and 12th houses are now getting activated. So make any investment only after doing proper research, due diligence, and consulting with trusted people. Your quality of sleep might also get affected, and you might suffer from sleep disorders such as insomnia. So, doing yoga meditation will be largely beneficial. Finally, be careful on any long distance journeys, vacations, travels that you go on. The final aspect of Saturn will be on your 3rd house, which will fall on the sign Scorpio. Although this will be an enemy aspect, it will not be as bad as the one that falls on Leo. So, with your hard work and effort, you will be able to achieve your goals, objectives, desires, ambitions in the coming time period. Try not to get into arguments with your siblings, or that could cause a strain in the relationship. And be watchful in your general communication with anyone so that someone doesn't take you the wrong way and it doesn't cause any misunderstandings. But you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You're going to become very confident and brave and take good decisions for your future life. And no one is going to be able to stop you anymore. You're going to stand up for yourself and you are going to come out victorious. So, overall, definitely a good transit that is coming up for my Virgo Kanya Rashi friends. I hope you make the best use of it, and thank you for watching. For my Libra Tula Rashi friends, finally Saturn will now transit in your 5th house in its own Mul Trikona, Aquarius. This is an excellent placement. First of all, Saturn is a Yoga Karaka planet, meaning a very beneficial planet for Libra sign because it controls a trine and a center house. And now finally, it will transit in the most auspicious 5th house, which is a Trikon. And that too in its Mul Trikona, Aquarius. Any planet placed in its Mul Trikona is known to give exceptional results, and it is also known wherever Saturn is placed, it tries to bring out the best significations of that house. So, if you had invested in the stock market in the past, you might finally see some good returns. If you had made any other past investments, then also you might get some profit from those. If you have any children, and if there were any issues in the relationship with your children, those will slowly be resolved as the time passes. They will start to respect you more and you will spend more time with them. If you are single and you are hoping to find a partner and get into a romantic relationship, but for some reason, if things were just not clicking, now slowly your wishes and dreams might finally come true, and you might be able to find a partner and get into a long term romantic relationship because Saturn is a planet that denotes long term permanence and stability. So, your desires might finally come true. Those who are in the teaching profession, then your students will largely applaud your teaching skills and abilities, and there is a chance you might get a bonus, promotion, or salary increment for your hard work and effort. And those people who are already in a love relationship, and if things were not going smoothly, if there were a lot of issues in your relationship, lot of disharmony, lot of quarrels, arguments, well, now finally Saturn will bring that much needed stability, much needed peace in your relationship, and there will be more love, romance going forward. From the 5th house, Saturn will aspect your 7th house, which will fall on the sign Aries. So, 7th house is connected to marriage. So, there is no denying that you might find a comparable partner with whom you might even get married. But this will be an enemy aspect, so be a bit cautious before suddenly getting married to someone you don't know that well. Instead, try to get to know that person really well and then only make a decision. Because any carelessness, any hastiness in this aspect can cause issues in the long run. But if you are careful, you are taking your time, doing proper due diligence about getting to know that person, then things will be good for the most part, and you have a strong chance of getting married in the coming time as well. If we talk about the business area, then those people who are wanting to start a new business, getting into a business partnership, thinking about business expansion, implementing new business strategies, as long as you do proper research, due diligence, consult with trusted people, then you can proceed forward. But you still have to maintain caution and take baby steps, one step at a time, because if you make any hasty, sudden, risky decisions, then that can really cause issues, and the expectation might turn out to be very different from the reality. The next aspect of Saturn will be on your 11th house, which will be a direct aspect on the sign Leo, the strong enemy sign. So the inflow of money will be there, but you have to do your part of saving that money and not making, again, risky financial investments, because that can cause major issues for you, because Saturn is strongly aspecting the 11th house. So the money flow will be there. It's not going to stop that money flow. It will certainly reduce it, but it will be there. And you have to just use good money management skills and use good strategy to save your money. And that will help you in the future because it will provide you with good financial stability in the long run. Try not to get into arguments with your elder siblings, or that could cause issues in the relationship. Instead, be respectful and courteous so that it maintains the harmony and peace going forward. Be watchful of your communication with your social network, with your friend circle, because if you're not careful, it can cause misunderstandings, and some people might even try to cause you damage. So be very watchful of the friends that you have. Be careful in how you communicate on social media with your social network because this strong enemy aspect can cause issues if you do not take caution. The final aspect of Saturn will be on your second house. Again, it will fall on the enemy sign Scorpio. So, as you can see, both the money houses are getting aspected by Saturn. So, naturally, it indicates you have to implement good money management skills so that you don't unnecessarily spend your money and it doesn't drain your bank balance. Also, be watchful of what you eat and what you drink because carelessness in this aspect can cause health issues. But one good thing about this aspect is that it can provide you with some good family reunions, and you might meet those family members that you had not met for a long time, and you will just have a good gala time reconnecting with your loved ones. So, overall, the upcoming transit of Saturn is going to be beneficial for the most part. Just have patience, think wisely when making any important decisions, and it will be a good transit for you because Saturn is definitely a very good planet for Libra sign, and Saturn will bless you if you follow a disciplined way of life. Thank you for watching. For my Scorpio Vrishchik Rasi friends, Saturn will now finally transit in your fourth house in its Mool Trikona Aquarius. This is a good position for the most part because fourth house is a Kendrasthan, and also any planet placed in its Mool Trikona is known to give exceptional results. And now Saturn is happily placed in its Mool Trikona sign Aquarius, which is Kumbha Rashi. So it is excellent news for those people in the real estate business, or also for those people in the business of selling cars. If you are looking to buy a new house or sell your house, or if you're thinking of buying a brand new vehicle or selling your old vehicle for a profit, then the time is very much supportive for the same. You might also think of decorating your house with brand new luxury furniture. If your mother was suffering from any health issues for a long time, then there might be some relief in her health and she might start to feel more energetic and her immunity might also get stronger. If you are a student pursuing primary education, such as bachelor's or high school, then you will make excellent academic progress in the coming time period as long as you put in the hard work and effort. You might also make a lot of new friends who will be more like family, and they might become very good, loyal, and trusted friends over time. From the fourth house, Saturn will aspect your sixth house, which will fall on the sign Aries. So, this will not be a bad aspect. It can increase the competition a bit, but with your determination, with your creative talents and abilities, you will be able to cleverly defeat the competition and rise on top above your enemies. Try not to take any major loans around this time if possible. Instead, try to slowly start paying off any old loans you had taken so that eventually you can become loan free. Also, be slightly watchful of your health and do not ignore any acute health issues if something was to bother you. Finally, the sixth house is also connected to your daily work routine. And since this is an enemy aspect, you might feel slightly lethargic. So try to push away that feeling and instead stay motivated, be focused, and that way you will be successful in your career in the coming time, because it will require a lot of hard work and effort from your end. And I will get to that as we move forward. The next aspect of Saturn will be directly on your 10th house of job and profession, which will fall on the strong enemy sign Leo. That is why I said you will need to put in a lot of hard work and effort in your career, in your job, or you won't be able to be as successful because this is a strong enemy aspect. So try not to get into arguments, disputes, quarrels, play office politics, because that will only create more issues for you. It will only create more stress and anxiety. Try not to suddenly change jobs because the expectation might be very different from the actual reality. So, in summary, be very cautious and careful when it comes to your job and profession in the coming time period. Stay focused on your duties. Do not engage in any office politics and keep working hard and stay disciplined. And that way, you will achieve good success and progress in your job in the coming time period. The final aspect of Saturn will be on your first house, which will fall on your own sign, Scorpio. So, again, I will say try to be very cautious when it comes to your health. Do not ignore any health issues because this will be an enemy aspect which is falling on your first house, on your Lagna. So, you need to get your regular wellness checkups, keep doing yoga, meditation, exercise, which will be largely beneficial. Keep doing mindfulness techniques because all this will reduce your anxiety and stress levels and keep your energy balanced and channeled in a much more positive direction in the time to come. So, overall, this transit of Saturn is going to be favorable in some areas as compared to others. So, keep working hard, stay disciplined, do not take any hasty, risky decisions, and you will have a good upcoming time period in your life. Thank you for watching. For my Sagittarius Dhanu Rashi friends, Saturn will now strongly transit in your third house in its Mul Trikona Aquarius. This is a very positive placement because Saturn is known to do very well when placed in a Upchaya Sthan like the third house. Also, any planet placed in its Mul Trikona is known to give exceptional results, and the same is true for Saturn, which will be happily placed in its Mul Trikona sign Kumbha Rashi. Due to this placement, you will start to work very hard and achieve your goals, objectives, dreams, desires, and ambitions. You will need to put in a lot of effort, but you will reap the rewards in the time to come. You will become very successful in life. Your communication skills will also improve a lot. You will impress whoever you interact with. Your leadership skills will become very refined. You will command a lot of attention. Those who had dismissed you earlier, now they will start to notice you and they will give you the recognition and respect that you deserve. You will become very brave and courageous in this upcoming time period. You will go after your goals and desires. No one will be able to stop you. You will stand up for yourself and you will achieve whatever that you set your mind to. Short distance journeys will also be largely beneficial. From the third house, Saturn will aspect your fifth house, which will fall on the sign Aries. If you had invested in the stock market in the past, then you might see some returns, but be careful of not doing any risky investments when it comes to the stock market or cryptocurrency, for example, because you might also face losses because this is an enemy aspect. So be a bit cautious. If you have any children, then you will start to spend more time with them. You might go and do some outdoor activities, and there will be a lot of enthusiasm, lot of passion, and your bond with your children will greatly increase. If you're single, then there's a chance you might find a comparable partner and get into a romantic relationship. And that partner might be more on the aggressive side. They might be more dominant because of the fire energy of the fifth house, because the sign Aries falls in it. If you're already in a relationship, then try not to get into arguments or disputes or quarrels with your partner, or that could even cause a break in the relationship. Instead, try to be courteous, caring, loyal, loving towards your partner so that your relationship can remain harmonious and peaceful in the coming time period. The next aspect of Saturn will directly fall on your ninth house, which will be the strongest enemy aspect on the sign Leo. So be very careful when it comes to going on any long distance journeys or vacations. Try not to travel alone when you go on any long distance journeys. Also, those students pursuing higher education, such as master's or PhD program, you will need to put in a lot of hard work and effort, and then only you can achieve any desired results in your academics. The ninth house is the highest of the Dharma Trikona, so you will naturally become more duty minded. You will carry out your duties in a dharmic fashion. You will become more spiritual, religious. Also, you might take up yoga, meditation, do pranayam, and all these things will be largely beneficial to channel the energies of this house in a much more positive direction because of this strong enemy aspect. Even doing some charity work, helping out with social service will be very good. The final aspect of Saturn will fall on the sign Scorpio, and that will fall on your 12th house, which is the house of expenses. So, naturally, there might be an increase in your expenses, but it might be for something that might be of beneficial value, such as charity work, donation, helping out with any philanthropic causes, and that will basically help to channel your spiritual energies and activate the 12th house in a much more positive manner. It can also be related to health issues because the 12th house is the house of hospitalization, health issues, because it is the mirror reflection house of the 6th house and it is a trikstan. So, some expenses might also go towards taking care of your health. That is why doing yoga, meditation, exercise consistently will prove to be beneficial. You might also suffer slightly from sleep disorders like insomnia because the 12th house is connected to sleep quality. However, there might be an increase in your passion, love, and romance in your relationship that will certainly be on the rise because the 12th house is connected to bed pleasures. Finally, there might be times where you will have to embark on some long distance journeys It can be for your business, career, with your family, or vacation in general. And that is why the expenses might also be there. But still, as I had mentioned before, if you go on any long distance journeys, try to not go alone and go with people that you trust. So, overall, a very good transit coming up for my Sagittarius friends, with Saturn finally moving to the third house. The Sadisati also ending for my Dhanu Rashi moon sign friends. So, a lot of good things to look forward to in the coming future. So, I hope you use this to your advantage and I wish you all the very best. For my Capricorn Makar Rashi friends, finally the Lord of your Lagna, the ruler of your ascendant, Saturn, will now transit in your second house in its Mool Trikona, Aquarius. This is a much more positive placement and a huge relief is indicated because in the last few years, Saturn was transiting in your first house, which was a bit of a turbulent time. But now, the Lord of your Dhanastan, the ruler of your second house of wealth, will transit in the wealth house itself. And any planet placed in its Mool Trikona is known to give exceptional results. And the same applies to Saturn, which is now happily going to be placed in its Mool Trikona, Kumbha Rashi. So naturally, this transit will help to improve your wealth over time. Your bank balance will start to grow, your savings will start to increase, and you will feel more financially stable than ever before. If there were a lot of losses, expenses in the past, slowly things will start to change and you will start to save more money and make profits. There might also be family reunion on the cards, and you might meet those family members you had not met for a long time. You will eat lots of good food and just have a fun gala time. Your communication skills will also become very impressive, and you will mesmerize anyone that you interact with. They will be very impressed with you. Your leadership skills will also start to shine, and your hidden talents and skills will come forth to the front. From the second house, Saturn will aspect your fourth house, which will fall on the sign Aries. This will create some yog to buying properties, purchase of real estate, maybe selling your house, even buying a new vehicle or selling your vehicle. All this is fine, but you still have to be a bit cautious. Read any important documents 10 times before signing, because if you're not careful, then it can cause issues in the long run. Because even Rahu will be placed in your fourth house, then Jupiter will be transiting in April. So basically, the fourth house will be strongly activated, and you will have a strong inclination to making a new property purchase or a new vehicle purchase. But try to be a bit cautious in that area and only make a decision after doing proper due diligence, research, and consulting with trusted family members. Those students who are in a primary education field, such as bachelor's or high school, will make good academic progress as long as they put in the hard work and effort. Try to be watchful of your mother's health, as she might suffer from some health issues, so make sure that she gets the proper health when needed and that she always gets her regular wellness checkups on time. The next aspect of Saturn will be directly on your 8th house on the strong enemy sign Leo. This is where you need to be careful. Try not to ignore any chronic health issues around this time, or that could cause more problems for you in the future. Try not to speed and drive your vehicle because the 8th house is linked to sudden accidents. Also, be very careful with your money. Do not make any risky major financial investments because 8th house is the house of sudden unexpected loss, and this is the strongest enemy aspect. So be very cautious and careful when it comes to managing your money, and use good money management skills and try to save as much of your hard-earned money as possible so that it can help you in the long run. Because for my Capricorn moon sign people, especially, the Sadesati is still going on, it's not over. So the third phase will be active. That is why you have to be a bit cautious when it comes to the money area and not make any risky stock market or cryptocurrency type investments if you have not done the proper research. Then the final aspect of Saturn will be on your 11th house, which will fall on the sign Scorpio. This will be a good aspect for the most part. It can help you to get wealth from multiple sources of income. Your social network will start to expand. You will make new friends. You might meet some important people, make influential contacts, which might help you in the long run. Your relationship with your elder siblings will also improve, but just try not to get into arguments or disputes with them, or that could cause a strain in the relationship. Also, be watchful on what and how you communicate with your social network, social media, and friend circle in general, because this will still be an enemy aspect. But the 11th house is one of the most auspicious houses. It is the Labhastan, the Ichha Purti Stan. So overall, nothing major to worry about. You will slowly start to achieve your goals, ambitions, desires. All that will be fulfilled in the coming time period. Just keep working hard because Saturn is the ruler of your sign, so it wants the best for you. But it is a teacher, so it wants you to be disciplined and follow good morals, values, and ethics. And that way, you will get the full blessings of Shani Dev in the coming time period. So, overall, a huge positive moment for my Capricorn Makar Rashi friends in the coming time period. So, I hope you use it to your advantage, and thank you for watching. For my Aquarius Kumbha Rashi friends, finally the Lord of your Lagna, the ruler of your ascendant, Saturn, will now strongly transit in your first house itself in its Mool Trikona, Aquarius. This is a huge relief as compared to the past few years because Saturn was transiting in your 12th house, which is the house of loss and expenses. But now things will slowly start to change for the better because any planet placed in its Mool Trikona is known to give exceptional results. And the same applies for Saturn, which is now happily placed in your sign, Aquarius. Also, the first house is both a Kendra and a Trikon, which makes it even more auspicious. So now this transit will help to improve your financial situation. You will start to save more money. If you were facing a lot of expenses, losses in the past, now things will start to change. You will start to build up your financial wealth and you will feel more financially stable moving forward. Your health will also improve. If you were suffering from any health issues, hospitalization, now slowly you will start to regain your energy. Your immunity will get stronger. You will feel more energetic and you will get a whole lot of relief from any acute or chronic health issues that you might have been suffering from a long time. Your destiny and luck factor will also start to support you more. You will start to think of making important life decisions in which your destiny will be much more supportive than it has ever been in the past. Your leadership skills will start to shine. Those who had dismissed you earlier, now they will start to recognize your hidden talents and skills, and you will show the world what you are made of. You will not back down from anything, and you will stand up for yourself. You will become very brave and courageous, and you will be a force to be reckoned with. From the first house, Saturn will aspect your third house, which will fall on the sign Aries. So this will make you work very hard to achieve your goals, objectives, desires, ambitions, But it will not go in vain. You will reap the rewards in the time to come. Your communication skills will also become very dominant. It will become very aggressive because the third house, the Aries sign, which is a fire sign, is getting activated. So it can be good for some people, but in some circumstances, it can be misunderstood, and that could lead to complications. Hence, be slightly watchful in your communication, although it will be very powerful and you will make a strong impact on whoever you interact with. You will also go on a lot of short distance journeys, but do not speed and drive your vehicle. Also, try not to get into arguments with your siblings, or that could cause a strain in the relationship. The next aspect of Saturn will strongly fall on your seventh house, which will be a direct, strong enemy aspect on the sign Leo. So, for those people already married or in a long term relationship, try not to get into disputes, quarrels with your partner, or that could lead to a break in the marriage. So, instead, be respectful, kind, courteous, loyal, so that your relationship remains harmonious and peaceful in the time to come. If you're single and hoping to get married, hoping to find a comparable partner, then do not rush into anything. Take your time, have patience, try to really get to know someone very well before taking it to the next level and getting married. Because if you are not careful, if you take a hasty decision, the reality might turn out to be very different from your expectation. When it comes to business, whether it is starting a new business, expansion of business, getting into a business partnership, thinking of implementing new business strategies, making any major financial business investments, be extremely cautious and think twice, thrice before doing such decision. Because if you are not careful, you can suffer major losses when it comes to business, or if you're not careful in your business partnership, it can even break. So you have to be careful in these areas. If you want to start a business, then I will say if you can delay that for a bit, it will be to your advantage. The next aspect of Saturn will be on your 10th house, which will fall on the sign Scorpio. So you will make good progress in your job and profession as the time passes. I don't see any major issues, but try not to suddenly change jobs without doing proper due diligence and research. Try not to get into arguments, disputes, or quarrels with your bosses or colleagues. Try not to play any office politics, because that will only create major issues for you at the workplace. But if you are committed to your job, if you are focused in your duties, at your tasks, then you will make excellent progress in the time to come and you will climb the ladder of success. But you have to be very disciplined when it comes to your marriage, business area, and job and profession. If you follow a cautious, disciplined approach, then it will be good for the most part and you will make good progress in the time to come. Be slightly careful in your relationship with your father and try not to get into arguments, or that could cause a strain in the relationship. So overall, a much better time indicated for my Aquarius friends from the past few years. The time ahead is looking to be much better. Just stick to your morals, values, ethics, have patience, do not take any hasty decisions, and Saturn will help you to slowly and steadily achieve all your goals, desires, ambitions in the time to come. Thank you. For my Pisces Meen Rashi friends, Saturn will now transit in your 12th house in its Mool Trikona sign Aquarius. Although this transit is taking place in a Dusthana, it is not actually that bad, because any planet placed in its Mool Trikona sign is known to give exceptional results, and Saturn will now happily be placed in its Mool Trikona sign Kumbha Rashi. So it will try to bring out the positive significations of the 12th house. Due to this transit, doors of opportunity for you might open up in terms of relocating to a foreign country, whether it is for your job, business, career, or with your family. It could also be for pursuing higher education, such as master's or PhD program. So finally, the dreams and desires of those people who always wanted to move to a foreign land in terms of a better life might finally have their dreams fulfilled in the coming time period. Your quality of sleep will also improve. If you were suffering from any sleep disorders such as insomnia, then there might be some relief on the cards. There might be some increase in the expenses, but it might be for something that you enjoy, such as going for a movie, going out for shopping, going out on a date with your partner, maybe even doing donations, charity work in terms of social service, and that will be largely beneficial because the 12th house is the highest of the moksha trikona. Even doing yoga, meditation, engaging more in spiritual or religious activities will channel the energies of this trikstan in a much more positive manner. From the 12th house, Saturn will aspect your second house, which will fall on the sign Aries. You have to be a bit cautious when it comes to your money, when it comes to your bank balance. Avoid spending unnecessarily. Do not give out loans to people in general, or you might have a hard time getting your money back. Do not make any major risky financial investments in this time period, whether it is stock market, cryptocurrency, unless you really know what you're doing. Because especially for Meen Rashi moon sign people, you will be starting the first phase of Sadesati. And Saturn is a very slow moving planet. It does not like risk taking, hasty decisions. So you have to stay away from that. There might be some good family reunion on the cards, and you might meet family members that you might have not met for a long time. The next aspect of Saturn will fall on your 6th house, which will be a direct aspect on the strong enemy sign Leo. Try to be very watchful of your health and do not ignore any health issues, especially acute health issues, or that could cause problems for you in the coming time. Getting regular wellness checkups will be largely beneficial. You might also face a lot of competition, so be ready for that. There might also be some hidden enemies, so be watchful and be alert. Try not to take any major new loans around this time. Instead, try to slowly repay off the loans you had taken in the past so that eventually you can be loan free. In your job, you might feel slightly lethargic in your day-to-day routine, but instead push away that feeling and stay motivated and focused so that you can be successful in the coming time period in your job and profession, because too much of laziness can be detrimental for your career. The next aspect of Saturn will fall on your 9th house, which will fall on the sign Scorpio. So again, the 9th and the 12th houses are both getting activated, which indicate long-term settlement, relocation to a foreign country, whether it can be for your career, education, business, and that will be beneficial for the most part. Also, 9th house is connected to your luck factor, to your destiny. Since this will be an enemy aspect, do not solely make any major decisions purely based on your luck factor or destiny, because it will be slightly weak. Make any important decisions only after doing proper due diligence, research, and consulting with trusted people. so that you can avoid any misfortunes. Those students already pursuing higher education, such as master's or PhD program, will be able to achieve good academic progress and impress their professors as long as they put in a lot of hard work and effort. So overall, the time is looking to be okay for my Pisces Meen Rashi friends in some aspects as compared to the others. So be patient, stay focused and determined, and do not stray away from your goals, objectives, morals, values, and ethics. And that way, you can get the full blessings of Saturn in the upcoming time period. I hope you use this to your advantage, and thank you for watching and take care.